Welcome back. It's 5:51. Time for your morning news now. We begin with some breaking news. We've learned within the past half hour, President Biden announced he's canceling another $1.2 billion of student loan debt. This latest round impacts 35,000 public sector workers, including teachers, nurses, and firefighters. The borrowers qualify for debt relief through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. To date, the president has canceled more than $168 billion of federal student loan debt for nearly 4.8 million Americans. That announcement comes as the White House says President Biden has tested positive for COVID. He tested positive just before he was set to take the stage and speak at the annual Conference of Hispanic Civil Rights in Las Vegas. White House officials say he's experiencing mild symptoms and is self-isolating while continuing to carry out his duties. Congressman Derek Van Orden was in a confrontation with a protester Tuesday at the Republican National Convention. He claims he was assaulted while in line at an event. The woman says he bumped into her while trying to cut the line. Others say Van Orden tried to shove past her. He says he's been hit harder by air coming out of a blow dryer, but he won't tolerate any political violence.
So she's not some innocent angel that came out of the way, and people have to stop doing acts of political violence of any level. And again, I'm not going to tolerate that.
In a release yesterday, MPD confirms it's investigating the assault and that a 24-year-old suspect battered the victim and the victim suffered minor injuries. A former Monroe County Sheriff's deputy is facing sexual assault charges after allegedly engaging in sexual activity with his 16-year-old babysitter. According to the criminal complaint, 29-year-old Aaron Yang is accused of sexual contact with the minor at his former La Crosse apartment while his young daughter was in the room. He faces several charges, including third-degree sexual assault and sexual intercourse with a child 16 or younger. Yang was released on a $2,000 signature bond and is no longer employed by the Monroe County Sheriff's Department. Marshfield Clinic is suing Eau Claire over property taxes, claiming the city's 2023 assessments were unlawful. The lawsuit argues Marshfield Clinic and Mayo Clinic Health System should qualify as nonprofit hospitals, contrary to the city's classification. Having paid over $600,000 in taxes, Marshfield Clinic is now seeking to recover those funds through the legal action. No court date has been set. Giving back to the community by completing 20 projects for local nonprofits. That's what the Great River United Way's annual Day of Caring did yesterday. 185 volunteers turned out to help local nonprofits, including the Parenting Place and Wafer Food Pantry. Projects ranged from landscaping to cleaning to stocking shelves.
So we are all over the community here today. We're at Family and Children's Center. We've got volunteers at the Parenting Place. We've got volunteers at Reach Center. So there are a lot of places today.
The volunteers represented 14 local businesses. Great Rivers United Way estimates they completed $20,000 worth of projects.
All right, we have the sunshine, we have the low humidity as well, and we have a little bit of light wind. We have temperatures that'll run right into the 80s. In fact, we'll see tomorrow we'll do the same thing again, possibly getting into around 81 degrees. We'll into the next few days to follow. Mild conditions will ensue into the weekend with rainfall Saturday night into Sunday. We'll see more of that rainfall to continue next week.
All right, Art, thank you. Something fishy was flying into Detroit's Metro Airport last month. Customs and Border Protection officials say they found 90 of these giant African land snails in one passenger's bags after they noticed there was an odd odor coming from the bag. Ugh. They believe the cache of critters was intended for consumption by the traveler who hailed from Ghana. But as invertebrates like snails are considered an invasive species in the U.S., the slimy, slithering snack was subsequently seized.